focused on Cyclone Herold, which is stronger this evening than it was earlier today. Now not too far from hurricane equivalent status, with winds of 65 miles per hour according to our latest analysis. It's stalling off the coast of Madagascar right now, which wasn't foreseen. Actually moving northeast slowly around 2 miles per hour, but the general trend will probably bring it back towards the south or southeast. Currently 65 miles per hour, 990 millibars, and a CDPS stage 2. This is for Port Louis. It appears still that we probably still won't get a landfall on any of the Mascarene Islands. They are still in the cone, which we'll see shortly, but the minute we're looking towards maybe 2 or 3 inches of rain, that's up to 50 to 75 millimeters roughly, and probably only just about gale force winds for Mauritius. Here's the wind field right now, growing a little bit, at least it's on all 4 sides now. The distance is 68 miles from Antalaha, Madagascar, edging ever nearer to the coastline there. 205 from Toamasina, 529 from Port Louis, and 862 from Rodrigues. It will get there eventually, but it is still on hold right now because the storm continues to stall. There's the Meteo France forecast there, and this is the general consensus. We're at 65 miles per hour. They're going a little bit lower, around 50 to 55 miles per hour. JTWC higher at 70 miles per hour. Satellite estimates going between 60 and 65. So here is the forecast cone then. We still expect that it will intensify substantially in the next 24 to 48 hours, and by day 2 it will probably peak as a category 3, and it could be a strong category 3 when it passes the islands. We still think again it's going to go in between Mauritius and Rodrigues. By the time we get to day 3 it starts to weaken, still possibly a tropical storm by the 4th day there, and it's all gone by the end of next week, certainly the middle of next week even. So here is the precipitable water imagery, and you can see the storm's influence there spreading through and moving on towards the southeast. A significant band there on the northern side, but it would appear that Mauritius will probably get just a little bit more rain than Rodrigues at this time. Talking again about up to 75 millimeters, maybe higher locally and in mountainy areas as well. On Rodrigues, probably looking at less than 50 millimeters of rain at the moment, but of course that track can change, and of course it can go anywhere within the cone that we saw earlier. These are the current sea surface temperatures, very warm, enough to sustain a significantly intensifying storm, which this intends to be by the looks of things. Temperatures underneath it right now around 28 degrees Celsius there, 83 Fahrenheit. So there it is, becoming a hurricane equivalent system shortly according to the GFS, intensifying further to category 3, and there you can see it passing in between those islands on the GFS scenario as well. And by the time we get to day 4 and 5, there it is, weakened now to a remnant low as it continues down there. Interestingly, GFS appears to have dropped that Mozambique channel system that we've been looking at too next week, so we'll see if it comes back later. The HWRF and the CTCX still calling for a significant category 4 out of this, but it looks like that the model consensus is sort of petering out a little bit at the category 3 range. Wind shear will rise on day 3 and 4 onwards. Sea surface temperatures remain warm for most of the duration, and relative humidity is fairly decent up until day 2 or 3 at least, until it passes the islands. So here is the satellite imagery right now. This is how the storm is looking. It's been looking decent in latest frames, much more organised than it has been recently. It's staving off that dry air towards the south there. This is the water vapour imagery combined with visible, and you can see 1 or 2 little holes there. It's not an eye yet, I don't think, but we could possibly see the developing of an eye pretty soon, maybe in the overnight hours tonight, and we'll wait and see what we find tomorrow morning, and it will probably start its movement east by then. Check out our new look cyclone tracker on the Force 13 website for the latest up-to-date information. You can also find us, of course, on our YouTube channel, search Force 13, and also on Facebook and Twitter, Force 13 at Force 13 on Twitter for the latest updates. You can also help the project become even better by becoming an Ultimate Fan on YouTube. To see the full list of Ultimate Fan benefits and to join, visit youtube.com/force13/join. with a special thanks to our top supporters this month. You can also check out our growing merch store so you can show Force 13's colours wherever you go. You can also find a link to our Discord server underneath this video in the description.